Alright, so what's happened today?
So this morning I woke up with some cramping at 5 in the morning, and then I started to time them. They're about like 10 minutes apart for an hour. And so I got up and ate. I woke up Felipe to tell him that I've been having these contractions for about an hour. And then for the next hour they were about like another 15 minutes apart, I would say. But then she woke up at 7 and then they pretty much run away. So then we slept for 2 hours, went to church, and now nothing's happened.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hi!
Hi.
I'm Lillian.
And I'm Felipe.
We are the Postmodern family.
Family of 4.
4. This is our first sit-down vlog since the birth. And so we're going to talk about what happened. If you're not familiar with the Postmodern family, we do videos about Americans living in the UK and living the traditional family life. So if you are interested, hit that subscribe button now. It's red. Subscribe. You may have noticed in a previous vlog that I had some first contractions in the early hours of the morning.
You may have noticed in previous vlogs that she was pregnant.
Yes. And we were anticipating going into labor early because our first child was born a week early. Leading up to around that same time frame, I started feeling some minor menstrual cramping kind of contractions on a Sunday early morning. So from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Then the sun rose, our daughter woke up, and they just stopped. And we had gotten a little excited. I think Felipe was a little excited that we would have the baby that day, right? So we had breakfast, we went to church. There was a teddy bear picnic, teddy bear parachute jump that day. Then we decided we would try everything we could to get labor going again. So we had
curry.
We went to have curry, and we got lucky because this lunch buffet doesn't always have really spicy curry, but he had one particular spicy dish that I liked. So I ate a lot of this spicy chicken. And then we bought some pineapple juice.
Took long walks on the beach.
We walked around a little bit, not too far from home, and bounced on the birthing ball. And then Felipe was very busy setting up the house. So then what happened? You don't even remember any?
No.
Oh my goodness. What are you there for? Not to remember. Okay, so then that evening we went to bed early, around probably 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Hey guys, it's like 12:25 and we went to bed early around like 10 o'clock, and I woke up to what feels like my water breaking. And now it's just kind of leaking a little bit. It wasn't that much water, it was just kind of like suddenly I felt like my underwear was wet. I never had this happen before, so I'm just sitting on the birthing ball and trying to figure out why our videos aren't uploading onto YouTube like they normally do, and hopefully trying to keep my mind off of it because I haven't had any contractions yet, and I want to make sure that I establish contractions before I call anyone. It was really weird for me because I had never had that happen before.
Never, in all the multiple times of pregnancy.
I asked my friends, my birth educator friends, what to do, and on Facebook, what to do, and they said just go back to bed and contractions will probably start in the next couple of hours. And they were right. They started around 1 a.m. and they were about 10 to 15 minutes apart. How long did it last for? How many hours?
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think.
Yeah. They progressed to 5 to 6 minutes apart, and they were starting to feel more intense. And after 2 or 3 of those, I told Felipe, I think it's time to call the midwife. After you called them, they said they would send someone.
Photographer.
And we called the photographer, and she was very nearby, thankfully. She came over, and
She made it before the midwife.
She made it before the midwives, and the pool was already being set up, since the 10 minutes apart thing. So I got into the pool because I really was having trouble coping, you know, with the contractions outside of the pool. So into the water, it felt so good. As I got in, that's when the birth photographer showed up. So she just came when I just got into the birthing pool. And Felipe was making the calls with, you know, making sure the midwife could find the place. How long was I in the pool?
Before the midwives came?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
it said
about
it took
20,
half an hour,
25
right?
minutes.
They said they would take half an hour for the midwife to get there.
Yeah.
So probably half an hour, because we just got into the pool when you were on the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And they kept saying over the phone, like, if you don't have a medical professional there, do not push the baby out in the pool. Because they were really concerned, right?
Well, they were concerned about not knowing what to do if the baby's born in the pool. So they have to, if you feel like pushing, get out of the pool.
What's the difference?
Not don't push.
Oh.
This is viewed as a risky proposition to have the birth in the pool without a professional.
Anyway, I was not going to get out of that pool just because the midwife wouldn't show, because that would be very painful, I think, and really messy, I think. That would be even messier than being in the pool.
The midwife showed up 20 minutes before the baby was born.
When I felt the whole body come out, and I was on all fours, so I had to move back onto my sit in recline position, and I was like trying to find the baby. I was like, where is the baby? And the midwife, I think, helped find and brought the baby, and I pulled the baby out of the water, and my first impression was, this is a big baby. What was your first impression?
Yeah, it was a big baby. I kept wondering, are we going to look at the genitalia or what? But I didn't say anything.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't even think about it for a second. I was just so excited about having birthed such a large baby and putting the baby to the chest. And then the midwife came and put a towel over him. And then I thought, wait, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. And I think that was, for me, even more exciting than holding the baby. But I think it was actually like finding out if it was a boy or a girl. So then we lifted off the towel, lifted up the baby a little bit. And I was so excited, and Felipe was very excited that it was a boy! Well, we let the umbilical cord stop pulsating. We clamped it, you cut it, and then we had a cord tied to tie to it later because they were trying to get my placenta out, and it didn't want to come out. So it took about an hour, I think. Before they decided to call someone because I was losing a lot of blood. And so the ambulance came, but all the while the placenta was still inside and still attached, they said, very high and attached. So they tried to pull it out, but the umbilical cord started to detach from the placenta. So then they lost contact with the placenta, and that's when they were we all knew I would have to go in. I went under general anesthetic for them to manually extract the placenta. And all in all, after I woke up, they told me I had lost
2.2 liters.
2.2 liters of blood.
But a liter is different here in the UK than in the US.
How's it different?
I think a UK liter is smaller.
So to them, it was significant, the amount. So they recommended, after a full night of monitoring, that the next morning I get a blood transfusion. And after the blood transfusion, I felt so much better, because before then they had me stand up to see if I could like walk around, and just standing up I was like seeing spots and feeling really faint, and so I decided that I wouldn't try that again until after the blood transfusion, pretty much. The NHS midwives and the nurses, Felipe was very impressed. They were very nice and had good bedside manner, and were professional.
And accommodating too.
Yeah. And they didn't bother the baby. They didn't like poke and prod and want to do a bunch of tests or anything like that. They were actually not concerned about the baby at all. He's very healthy. He turned out to be 8 pounds, 2.5 ounces. They don't measure the length here in the UK, so we don't know how long he is. He's breastfeeding really well now. Oh yeah, he had tongue tie. Off the bat, I was like, I'm pretty sure he has tongue tie. Can you check? 2 midwives confirmed, but they never sent anyone.
To do what?
To get it cut.
Oh.
Are you gonna say anything? I just feel like you're just sitting there scowling.
No, it's just the sun.
So we got discharged 2 days later. So I stayed the night twice, and then we just got back yesterday, and now we had a visit just now from the midwives to check up on the baby and me, and everything's looking great. He's only lost 4% of his birth weight, which is really good. They recommend no more than 10%, and with our first daughter she was more than 10%. So he's feeding really well. Yeah, overall I was really pleased with the experience, and I would definitely do it over again. I don't think I would want to give up a home birth just to be closer to a hospital.
How's our daughter doing?
Yeah.
Getting accustomed to it.
What do you think? You've been spending more time with her.
Yeah, she's doing fine. I've been spending a lot of time with her, which has been really nice, and she's enjoyed that. So while she bonds, Lillian bonds with the new baby, I bond more with our daughter. She's not jealous or anything quite yet. I don't know if she will be, but she's been doing really well. Yeah, so she's been a really good help so far. Just maybe too eager. Maybe a little bit too eager. There's no such thing as too eager, is there?
So I'll bring up the boy so you can see him. He's just been here breastfeeding. There we are, family of 4 now. Thanks so much for watching our video about the birth of our son, and we hope to see you guys next time. Hit that subscribe button if you're interested in Americans living in the UK, living the traditional family life.
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.